Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabi. I welcome you to Biology Boss MCQ Part 14. I encourage you to learn, like, share, and subscribe. The main value of panting in a dog is that A. Latent heat of vaporization after cools the body. B. Excess water is removed from the body. C. The dog relaxes from exhaustion. D. Excess mineral salts are removed from the body. And the answer is A. Latent heat of vaporization after cools the body. Which one of the following is true about a person of blood group O? A. Donates blood to people of all other blood groups. B. Receives blood from only people of blood group AB and O. C. Receives blood from people of all blood groups. D. Donates blood to only people of blood group AB. And the answer is DA. Donates blood to all other blood groups. The value of sweating in man is that during the process, A. Excess nitrogenous waste is got rid of. B. The body is cooled. C. Excess water is lost. D. Excess salts are got rid of. And the answer is B. The body is cooled. Sexual reproduction in Spirogyra is described as A. Fragmentation. B. Conjugation. C. Budding. D. Binary fission. And the answer is B. Conjugation. Lack of a nucleus in a red blood cell is advantageous in that it A. Helps the cell to fight disease-causing organisms. B. Enables the cell to pass through thin epithelium. C. Enables the cell to carry much dissolved food. D. Allows the cell to carry a lot of oxygen. And the answer is D. Allow the cell to carry a lot of oxygen. Which of the following parts of a flower is not essential for reproduction? A. Anther. B. Stigma. C. Corolla. D. Style. And the answer is C. Corolla. A reason for simpler excretory organs in plants as compared to those in animals is that plants A. Do not excrete solid wastes. B. Are primarily producers. C. Do not use proteins. D. Have lower metabolic rate. And the answer is D. Have lower metabolic rate. Homologous chromosomes move to opposite pole of a dividing cell during A. Binary fission. B. Mitosis. C. Meiosis 1. D. Meiosis 2. And the answer is C. Meiosis 1. To estimate the population of fish in a pond, 210 fish were captured and marked and released. In the second capture, out of the 240 fish, 24 had been marked. The estimated population of fish was A. 21. B. 340. C. 2,100. D. 4,300. And the answer is C. 2,100. Identical twins result from A. An ovum splitting into two before fertilization. B. Two ova being fertilized by two sperms. C. Two ova being fertilized by one sperm. D. One ovum being fertilized by one sperm. And the answer is D. One ovum being fertilized by one sperm. The papas on the fruit are remains of the A. Petals. B. Stamens. C. Pericarp. D. Calyx. And the answer is D. Calyx. A bird's egg is larger than an ovum of an elephant because more A. Food reserves are needed for external development. B. Space is needed for storing wastes. C. Space is required for conserving oxygen. D. Space is needed for gaseous exchange. And the answer is A. Food reserves are needed for external development. The functional unit in a nervous system is A. Dendrite. B. Neuron. C. Axon. D. Synapse. And the answer is B. Neuron. Animal X and Y live together. Animal X provides shelter for animal Y, and animal Y makes food for animal X. What kind of relationship do these two animals show? A. Commensalism. B. Parasitism. C. Autotropism. D. Mutualism. And the answer is D. Mutualism. The opening of stomata at night and closure during day is an attempt to A. Stop gaseous exchange. B. Conserve water. C. Conserve energy. D. Lower the temperature. And the answer is B. Conserve water. An athlete breathes 500 cubic centimeters of air at each breath. His breathing rate is 40 breaths per minute. If the atmospheric air contains 15% oxygen by volume, what is the oxygen intake? A. 3,000 cubic centimeters. B. 2,000 cubic centimeters. C. 600 cubic centimeters. D. 300 cubic centimeters. And the answer is A. 3,000 cubic centimeters. Which one of the following occurs during the stage of anaphase of mitosis? A. Chromatids separate and move to opposite pole. B. Chromosomes uncoil. C. Chromosomes line at the equator. D. Chromosomes collect together at the opposite ends. And the answer is A. Chromatids separate and move to opposite poles. The hormones that stimulate the growth of pubic hair in humans are A. Follicle-stimulating hormone and progesterone. B. Estrogen and testosterone. C. Luteinizing hormone and thyroxine. D. Progesterone and luteinizing hormone. And the answer is B. Estrogen and testosterone. A pure breeding red flowered plant was crossed with a pure breeding white flowered plant, and all the resulting F1 generation had pink flowers. What percentage of the F2 plants would have red flowers if the F1 plants were self-pollinated? A. 100%. B. 50%. C. 33%. D. 25%. And the answer is D. 25%. In grasses, the anthers hang out below the flower, and the stigma is held out above the anthers. The importance of this arrangement is to A. Improve the chances of pollination. B. Encourage self-pollination. C. Minimize waste of pollen. D. Encourage cross-pollination. And the answer is D. Encourage cross-pollination. Hello friends. Thank you very much for participating in Biology Boss MCQ Part 14. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.